Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be doing my 100 subscribe special, and I'm going to be going over how to make this thumbnail, or I'm basically just going to be recopying it, and how to make thumbnails like this, and this one. So, yeet, let's get right into it. We're going to start off by making our new layer, just a 1920 by 1080 layer, or what I normally start off with at least is the person right here, like the little player or whatever. Now just place in your screenshot of your player or whatever. Now if you don't know how to get your character or whatever, or the person that you're fighting, download replay mod, or just what I do is go into my videos folder and just go on a video like when I'm fighting somebody and just pause it like when I think it looks fine. Now this is probably the worst way to do it you can do, but I recommend just downloading replay mod and doing it. I'm just way too lazy to. What you would start off with is just making this like screen bigger, just like that maybe, and then cropping this boy out with the polygonal lasso tool, and pretty much all you do is just trace over this guy. You don't really need to be too precise with this. It's pretty simple. You literally just go over the boy man. The hardest part about this is probably just like the swords and stuff, but like I said, you don't really need to worry. It's not too important. You can't really notice it. Alright, so once you have the guy just like traced completely, just press Ctrl and J on the correct layer, and then you should be able to like get rid of that and just see this guy. Also get rid of this little area on the cape. So yeah, you should just have him like this. I would make him bigger and then flip him, because most of the time your sword's gonna want to be on this side, or whatever like your item is in your hand. So I'd make him like maybe that big. Let's see, that looks pretty alright. Put him like there. Delete this layer, this background image, just to not have it, not like just like the default white screen, and put a stroke on this man. Put it to like size maybe 14, 16 depending on the size, and then just add a stroke, make it not too intense, enough so like you can like see it slightly like that maybe, and then add a inner glow as well. Make sure it's on overlay, and then just put it up like pretty high. And then let's say this thumbnail is gonna be purple, which is, we're gonna base it off of this one, so yeah, it's gonna be purple. You would actually take your quick selection tool, or whatever this is, quick selection tool, and just go over this whole like red part. It's only like this because I took the screenshot like while he was like getting hit or whatever. So if you don't have this problem, then you don't need to worry. If you really want to, if you have like diamond armor in the pack, you can just change it to make it the color of your thumbnail. Like if you have like blue or diamond armor, you can like change it to make it like red or something, just with hue and saturation, same thing I'm doing. So once you have the whole thing selected, just go to image adjustments, hue and saturation, and then make this guy a little bit like slightly purple, maybe like that, and put the saturation down just a little bit since it is purple, and you don't want it to be like too bright and look weird. It should look like that, which is pretty decent, definitely better than like ugly bright red. So next thing you're gonna want to do is get this screenshot and then just make it bigger and put it like right there. Maybe even make it more bigger, English. Try to put the character like where he actually is on the screenshot if you are using the one that you took the guy from, just so you can't see him like again and still looks like kind of decent. And then also, once you find a place to do it, just cover over the whole thing with this like square tool or whatever, and then press Ctrl J and delete the past one. This doesn't really matter right now, but it's just so you can have it for something later. You can also do the background just like a normal screenshot, like in this one. This is just like a screenshot from like a pack I found on Google. We're pretty easy, as long as it's on the ground, it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah. And then once you have this, you should probably add like a little bit of blur. It doesn't really matter too much, but I like to add like maybe like a 4 blur. I think it looks pretty decent, and it just like chops it up a little bit so you're not fully focused in like these super HD Minecraft blocks. And then since this thumbnail is purple, I'm gonna make it I'm gonna make a new layer like this kind of color purple, and then just take a brush and go over the whole thing, and I'm gonna put the opacity down like pretty low, maybe to like 16, and put it on overlay. Actually, I might put it to like 30. Yeah, I mean, this is all preference, like I said before. So yeah, I think that looks pretty decent. Certain colors, they won't work if you put on an overlay, so just put the opacity down lower. Just don't do this at all. Another thing you could do is also on like the outsides. You're gonna be doing this anyway later on, but you can make a brush like this and just go around like the corners to make it lighter. You can't really notice it right now, but you will be able to later. Alright, so next, what I like to do is a sword. It doesn't really matter what order you do this in, like at all. So next thing you want to do is just open up your Minecraft and go to a single player world. Take a screenshot with like a sword in your hand, just like this one. So the pack doesn't really matter if you want. If you have a pack that's like has like a purple sword or something, or even like the same pack that like your client or whoever's using, or you can just use that. But if you don't, you can just use any other pack and then just even saturation it. And then so you're just gonna do the same thing, the tracing thing, as you did before. So once you have that selected, just press Ctrl+J, and then you'll get this nice little sword thing right here. And then just add a stroke and drop shadow. Should be the same ones by default that were on him. And I would just make it bigger and then maybe slant it over so it looks like you're like more in the fight or something. Yeah, so something like that. Just have it like big and it looks like you're about to fight. And then this is when I do that background thing. I merge these two layers, like the overlay layer, and then add a inner glow like that, and make sure it's on overlay again. Put the choke down, and then add that. You can even put the choke on none if you really want, and then put the opacity down on the overlay to around there. And it just adds this nice little like glowy kind of border, which looks pretty nice. And it changes around as well, so it can work with most things. So after that, you're gonna want to do the text, obviously. I'm gonna make this first, starting off. I'm gonna make it above all the things. So I'm just gonna make it say ranked and Skywars. Now I use like 3 different fonts primarily. I use Rific Free, Equestrian, and Mikado or Mikoto. I don't know how you say it. But yeah, so for the Skywars text, I'm going to use Rific Free, and for the rank text, I'm going to use Equestrian. They're both good fonts, and I recommend downloading both of them because you can use them for a lot of stuff like that. And they work for like one-time thumbnails, and they work for even like banners sometimes too, if you want to do like small text or something. So I'm going to make the rank text fairly big, and same with the Skywars, maybe around that size. It doesn't really matter too much right now. So I'm gonna start off with the ranked. I'm just gonna do my own layer styles that I have right here. If you want them, you can pay $3 and get them on my shop, or you can just try to copy them. It doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna do them because obviously I want the sales, so I'm not gonna show you how I make them. But the Skywars text, I will, because I'm gonna base it off my normal silver layer that I have. Except for I've been starting to do a new thing which I think looks better, where I get rid of the inner glow and the gradient overlay, and I just put it like how it would normally be, like when you first start it. And then except for I make this white, this top layer, and then I put this to a darker gray like that, and then make another point like right there, and then make it around right there. So for the inner glow, you can just do something with the choke after you get your gradients down, which I like doing it like this, and I think it looks pretty nice. You can add the inner glow, put the choke to like 75 or something, and then just the size like pretty low, just to make it work with that, and it looks pretty nice. Also make the drop shadow, like just color pick that, and then just make it the same color as Skywars text, because why not? Or the Skywars stroke, like the background bottom one. I like to do gradients for my strokes because I think it looks nice, you know, and it looks pretty cool when you put the drop shadow as the bottom one because it just blends nice. Another thing that you can do is you can press Ctrl+T, go to this little warp thing, and then go to arc and put this one as like a lower arc, or arc going up, doesn't really matter. I like to do my bottom one going down and my top one going up. I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller, just like that. And now I'm actually going to rasterize both these. You do that by just right clicking and putting rasterize layer style, and if you want to do both of them at the same time, you just shift click and then do it, you know. So I'm going to press Ctrl+C and then go to perspective, and then press Control and drag inward to make it kind of go like that. But I'm not going to do too much on that. But on the Skywars text, I'm going to do it more so you get a perspective, and then you do that. So I think I'm gonna put it something like that, because I think that looks pretty nice. Just like, because you can't really tell for this one, it just kind of stretches it out more. I might actually even do that or something just to make it look a little bit nicer, and it looks pretty decent. So after that, you could just merge the layers together and then make a stroke, and then just put it on color, and then you can get a nice little white stroke, and then make a drop shadow, put the color to black, and then put the spread fairly high, just like enough so you can see it. So something like that looks pretty nice. Now I'd actually put the sword above it and just have it like that. And now you're pretty much done with the text, so rasterize it again and press Control T, then press Control T. And sometimes I like to kind of curve it like that, or curve it like this. For this one, I'm gonna curve it in a little bit like that, make it look like it's kind of coming out just a bit, not too insane though. Sometimes it actually looks better without doing any of that. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger, put it right there, and it looks pretty nice. So if you feel like there's not that much like going on outside, you can do this thing that I just started doing, where you use this one brush. It's a default brush that looks like this when you press it, and it does these nice little like strokes. I don't know exactly what it's called or how to find it, but I just did one day. So try to look for the one with like that tip. I don't really know how to describe it. And then if it looks like this when you're on the screen, then that's probably it. So what I have been trying to do lately is actually just drag along like that and make these nice little strokes, and it looks pretty cool sometimes. So it looks bad like that, obviously, but if you put on an overlay and then put this lower, put the opacity lower, it starts to look pretty cool. Pretty much all it does is just add a cool effect that just makes it look a little bit different. See, for this I'd probably just make it bigger and then put it like that or something, just stretch it out a bit, and yeah, that looks pretty sick. Now another thing that you can do if you don't want to do that and you want more kind of like the explosive things, I have this agar.io best GFX pack by it's J with a 4.psd. So I'll put the link to this video, whoever made it, in the description. It's basically just a pack of just all the combined stolen friggin' things that people use in thumbnails, a clickbait pack. So you can take some of these like little charged things, electric things, and put them into the thumbnail like this, and then just make them bigger and put them around. Like you can put like one there if you think there's not enough, duplicate it, put another one, like I'd put another one like really big, like here or something. And then yeah, you can kind of get what I'm saying, where it's just it's the clickbait thing, the clickbait electric, I don't know. And if you want, you can merge them, and then it'll be a big black screen. You just put the overlay style to lighten, and then go to image adjustments, turn the hue to like a purple or like whatever color your thumbnail is, and then maybe even turn the saturation down like a bit, just so it's not fully like that. And then you can make it look pretty nice, but I don't know, I don't like doing that all the time. I do it sometimes, but definitely not all the time. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm sorry if this video came out kind of bad. I've never really done anything like this before. So thank you guys for getting me 100 subs. I hope this helped out. And yeah, thank you boys. Goodbye.